Hello children, let me welcome you back to another lesson for standard 5th EVS 2. Last time we talked about the first part of lesson number 1, what is history. Now in today's lesson we will be doing the remaining part of that particular lesson, that is we will be doing 1.3 and 1.4. My name is Shraddha Teacher and I will be teaching you EVS this year through the virtual class. So now children, when we talked about history or when we talked about EVS in standard 5th, I discussed with you that we are going to talk about how we came to be, that is how we developed as a human race. Now in the previous part of this lesson children, we talked about what is the past, what is the present, how we have developed, the various things that we invented, etc. Now in this part of the lesson, we have a new point to learn about, and that point is about the scientific method of history. So what is the meaning of a scientific method of history? So let us first try and understand what is the scientific method, and then we will try and see how it is applied to history. Okay? So what is the scientific method children? A scientific method means trying to find out the solution to a particular problem that you have in hand. So if you follow the method of science, what all things do you do? You first ask a question. Can you see the arrow moving on the screen? I have told you previously also that when I move this arrow on the screen, I want to highlight a particular point. Okay, so asking a question, finding out what the exact problem is the first step, you can say, in scientific method. After that, when you have identified your problem, when you know what the problem is, what do? You try and gather information. So how do you gather information? You gather information by observation, by looking at certain things, by listening to what people are saying, by tasting, by smelling, by reading, by asking an expert. So you gather information. So this is the second step in the scientific method. The third step is you form a hypothesis. So what is a hypothesis? Hypothesis means a possible solution. You are not arrived at the answer. You have not arrived at the particular point that you want to, or the particular solution, but you have a number of guesses now. Okay, you have a number of possible solutions. And then what you do in the next step, you test these solutions. How do you test these solutions? By performing different kind of experiments. And then after performing the experiments, you have the results with you, and then you share these results, or you share the solution of the problem that you have with the people whom you want to do it with. Okay, so this is how any problem is solved as per the scientific method. So let us see how we can connect this to history. So once again, what all things do? You observe, you ask questions, you do some research. What do you do when you do research? You study that particular problem. Afterwards, you form hypothesis. What is the meaning of hypothesis? Hypothesis means possible solutions to a problem. And then you do experiments, then you arrive at a conclusion. So this is the scientific method. Now children, we know that when we study about history, we study about things which have happened in the past, isn't it? So all these things which have happened in the past, can you exactly take it to a laboratory and can you try to test it in the laboratory? It is very, very difficult at times. Okay, so what we do is we try to test, or we try to understand, or we try to apply the scientific method to the various sources of history. So why to sources of history? Because it is these sources of history which tell us about history, which give us more knowledge about history. So we try to apply the scientific method to the sources of history, and we try and find out whether these sources of history are real or not. Okay, so let's see how we do it. So see here, which are the sources of history. Before we go and find out how you apply the scientific method to the sources of history, let us try and see which are the sources of history. So the sources of history could be all these things, okay? All these things from which you come to know about history. So some of them are in the form of coins, some of them are in the form of pots and pans, some of them are in the form of books, okay? Some of them are in the form of these paintings or these sculptures on the walls, etc. So all these things, children, they are all sources of history. There are many more sources of history also for us to see, and we can divide it also into the written sources, the material sources, and the oral sources of history. Now as you grow up, children, as you go to the 6th standard, 7th standard, you will see that for 4 continuous consecutive years you are going to learn about sources of history. In the 6th standard, 7th standard, 8th standard, 9th standard, you will be learning about these sources of history in detail, okay? But in this lesson we are only trying to understand how we apply scientific method to history. How do we apply the scientific method to history? We try to understand, or we try to apply the scientific method to understanding more about the sources of history. So you can see here on the screen for you, there are images of many written sources, okay? There are images of many material sources, there are images of many oral sources. Now we all know what is the meaning of written. Whatever you have in writing which you can read is the meaning of written sources. Material means things, so whatever sources of history is in the form of materials or in the form of things, we call them as the material sources. Oral sources means that which we can hear, which someone says, is called as oral sources of history, okay? So what we do is, history is not written on the basis of imagination of people. History is written on the basis of all these historical sources, okay? So history also uses scientific method at every stage. When it collects the sources of resources, when it studies the sources of resources, and when it writes down the history, all the time history makes use of the scientific method. See, these are all the, you can say, material sources of history. They have dug it up from inside the earth, and then they study this, okay? They try to see from which era it belongs to, okay? And who were the people who used it, what do you know about the life of the people who have used these things, and all those things, and then they write the history, okay? See this? In the ancient times they must have written it down in this form. Nowadays we have different types of textbooks or different types of books. See, after examining, this is maybe how they picked out some such things from inside the earth and they studied it. So these are all, children, sources of history. This was a written source of history, okay? And now here you have a material source of history, a brick on which something has been inscribed, okay? See, different kind of plates, different kind of coins, different kind of pots. So all these things were examined scientifically, okay, before writing the history. That is why we can say that scientific method has been applied to history. Look at this. This is an example of an oral source of history, where stories are told, okay? See, when they find any object, what they do first is they try and see whether the object is real, okay? They try to study the object, and what do? They ask questions like who has produced this and why it was produced, when this particular source of history was produced. So they ask all these questions in order to be able to find out whether it is true history, whether it is a real history, whether it is a real source or not. Now let's come to the next point in this lesson. Let us talk about history and us. Us means we, you and me. So why should we learn history? What is a need for us to learn about something which has happened long, long ago? Okay, now we are studying in history about the action of the people who have lived before us. We talked about the past, in the previous part of the lesson. We talked about what is past, what is present, what is future. So in history also we study about the past, and that is very, very important for us to study about the past, because we understand about the progress of mankind. How history helps us? History helps us to know about ourselves. Okay, history helps us to know about others, and history also helps us to know about the world. History also teaches us which actions of ours will be good for the society and which action of ours will not be good for the society. So that is why if we understand the past, or if we understand what has happened before, or what has happened before now in the past, we will be more likely to understand what is happening around us. That is why, children, it is very, very necessary for us to study history. That is a connection that we have with history. While studying history, we also come to know about how the people in the ancient times lived, what they ate, how they did farming, how they took care of their animals, and so many other things we come to know when we study history. So it is very, very essential for us to learn about history. We also learn about the mistakes committed by our ancestors. They fought with each other and they created a lot of trouble for each other, and it was not good for anyone. So this also, violence, when you fight with each other, okay, when you kill each other, it does not help anyone. So that also we learn when we study history. Okay, so these are the various things that we learn, and this is the connection between history and us. We learn a lot about what has happened, we learn a lot about the mistakes of the people, and we learn how we are not supposed to repeat these mistakes. Okay, children, so that is all for today. So here we have come to the end of lesson number 1. So hope you understood the lesson, and if you have any doubts, what you can do is you can always go back and watch these videos again and again. Okay, so thank you so much for now. Let's meet again for another lesson in EVS very soon. Till then, goodbye.